Welcome to the 5G podcast.
We're glad you're here.
We hope you enjoy our conversation about God, guns, games, goals, and gastronomy.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode.
Yeah. Now, there's actually a couple of them where it's like, dude, like I would love to work with them in the future. Like,
Sure.
Like on anything.
Keep the networking.
Yeah.
Like that'd be nice.
There's one. He's a degenerate gambler.
You've told me him, yeah.
But he's the nicest guy. He's super intelligent. Kind of a weirdo.
Yeah.
He's not like he's like a sports savant.
Yeah. So he's like he just has the brain for that. He knows I'm assuming the stats
of like
so
everything. But like it's not just like, oh, I know football or I know baseball. It's like every sport, even though it's like random esoteric sports.
That's pretty funny.
Like golf, tennis, ping pong.
That's weird.
Like every sport, he knows a significant amount about it.
Dang, wrestling. You have to ask him on that one.
I didn't ask him about. I haven't asked him about that. But like for me, my sports knowledge, effectively zero.
I would say I know enough to carry a conversation
for about 3 minutes for me.
I don't think you can say zero because you know how the game of football works.
Okay, that's fair.
Which is better than the average woman. So it's not zero.
And that's fair. I like baseball, but compared to him, it's effectively zero,
sure,
right?
Okay.
Where it's like if we're looking at
statistically zero.
Yeah, statistically insignificant when compared to his knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Just like most people's knowledge of firearms is statistically insignificant when compared to my knowledge of firearms.
Sure, yeah.
Same with magic for you. Most people, unless they're, you're probably in like the 97th, 98th percentile of magic players.
I'd say I'm up there.
Most magic players don't go get their judge certificate or whatever the
rules advisor.
Rules advisor, yes. Sorry.
That's right. I need an official judge endorsement to become a judge. It's kind of
That's kind of rough to get too, right?
Who became the first judge?
Probably. Yeah. Some Wizards of the Coast creator.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
We've got a lot to talk about.
We do have quite a bit to talk about.
So
we be a little bit of a longer episode today.
We got to get rolling, Steven. Get rolling.
Rolling. It's another magic episode, apparently.
Yeah, probably. Obviously, we talk about that a lot. So, Bloomborough has started doing official spoilers. I got to say, it's been kind of fun this week as a card game savant, to use your word. They've been doing Bloomborough spoilers for Magic, and also Hearthstone. It has their next expansion coming out. So I've been double spoilers all week. It's like kid in the candy store.
Yeah, that's great.
New cards. I can't wait. But yeah, Bloomborough's coming out. And in addition to all the spoilers, there's just a lot of like news and new things coming. So I figured maybe we'll talk about that and then jump into some cards.
Sure.
Because first and foremost, their big news with the set. You remember when they were like, read my lips, no new boosters. I remember that word for word. Now we have a new booster type.
Yep.
Which
so now we have play boosters.
Which was supposed to like simplify things.
Yep.
And just
combine all the different boosters.
Yeah, just one type
then
of
we had collector boosters, which were like premium booster packs.
Those are for the whales, as we call them.
Okay.
Like, you want to buy all foil, sure.
Yeah. I thought that was an acceptable difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now
we have value boosters.
Trevor.
Oh, and let me tell you, they are the Walmart booster of boosters. Great value.
Not
ironically great value.
Yeah.
So they've announced. Oh, it's so funny. They won't reveal an MSRP, but everyone's positive these are going to be like dollar store maybe, but probably $2 honestly. So probably will be actually Walmart, not Dollar Tree booster packs, but they're 7 cards with a chance at 2 rares. I think that's what the packaging says. It says a chance at 2 rares.
So in between 0 to 2 rares.
0 to 2 rares of the 7 cards, because I texted you the stats actually. 7 cards, 0 to 2 rares possible, because one of those can be a foil, so that has a chance at a rare, and one of them can be like a special slot or whatever,
Yeah.
which could be a rare, it could be an alternate art or something. Or and then it's that replaces the land, I think. So it's like 0 to 1,
geez.
0 to 1 lands in the pack. The statistics are not mathed good at any price point for that.
Really?
For a standard set, and you don't even get a guaranteed rare, even like at $5 for a play booster, that's not good because there's not a whole lot of rares over $5 anymore.
No.
It's really, I mean, if you want to make your money back, which you shouldn't do because it's just gambling, collector boosters
Yeah.
are better because at least you get foils and alternate arts at a higher rate.
Yeah.
These value boosters, they're just like, what's the word? It's like a dumb customer scam. Like, I'm not dumb, but uninformed of like the parent just like buying magic cards for their kid. You're just like, oh look, I saw these boosters at Walmart. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a waste of money.
Yeah.
But it's maybe it'll be effective as a marketing scheme. So
yeah, it's
value boosters.
Value boosters. I was trying to think if they're $1, maybe worth I wouldn't say investment, maybe worth the gamble.
Maybe worth the dopamine.
Maybe. Because I'll be honest, tearing packs is a good time.
What did I get?
It's a good time.
Yeah. So at $1, if like I could go and take $5 to Dollar Tree and just rip packs, yeah, all right, maybe.
Yeah. And maybe you get $1.50 back in value out of each one.
Yeah.
Maybe with 7 cards, maybe there's a couple in there worth 25 cents, 30 cents.
Or maybe you get at least a land and you're like, cool.
Yeah.
A cool full art land,
Yeah.
sure. Because there are no non-full art lands in this set. I think I read that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good at least.
That's good, yeah. So you at least get some pretty art
Yeah.
for your $1, but they're probably going to be $2, I think.
Yeah. Yikes.
With
yeah,
no official MSRP.
That's such a stupid... Wizards getting rid of MSRP is probably one of the dumbest moves they've ever made.
Yeah. It looks a little sleazy, like, to your customers.
Yeah,
like,
it's like...
the distributors still have the price that they buy it from you at.
Yeah.
So
it's like... Okay,
why keep that hidden?
Yeah. Because you... Yeah, it's a very, very dumb thing.
It feels...
Every single gun company, every single car company, every single... They all have an MSRP of what the expected value should be for the customer.
It's like respectful to give your customer as much information as possible.
Yes.
I think that's treating it fairly. And also, we see this with like, we talk about this a lot in movies and TV shows, like treat them like they're intelligent people.
Yes.
And in this case, let them make an informed decision.
Yes.
Instead, the whole like, no MSRP, like, oh, here's a value booster. Like they're just trying to trick customers.
Yeah, I would like to see, going off of this point, I would like so here's an overarching view of my take. If they want to introduce a new booster that is going back on their word, but like, okay, whatever.
Hasbro needs some more money.
Sure.
Right?
Like, I'm not mad necessarily about them introducing a new booster type, a new pack type.
Yeah.
Just because, just like you can get rid of stuff and say, we're simplifying everything. It's like, well, maybe the game needs more complexity, you know?
Sure.
And, after a year or 3 months of them reducing the amount of booster types or pack types or whatever, they're going to increase it now because they're just... And if they have come out and said, you know what, we're going to reduce we reduced this because we thought that was the best. Turns out we were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start introducing other things. It'd be like, okay,
all right, sure. We looked at the trends. We changed our minds. Yeah.
And that would be 100% respectable.
Yeah.
Right. I would love for them to publish the statistics.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Of packs.
We'll never see that, but...
And then say, look, the statistic is, the rarest of the rare packs that are possible, theoretically possible, is going to be worth, in card value, roughly $3.50, let's say, right?
Yeah.
We're going to sell these value packs for $1.50, giving you the chance that, most of them you're going to lose money on. but some of them you're going to make me make some money.
Yeah.
And it costs us the same to print anything because it's just printed paper.
It's just paper, yeah.
Right? So it's like whatever for us.
And we don't really pay attention to the secondary market, which I guess would be their counter argument to that. But
well, but I guess what that's a very good point.
It's all they control rarities.
Yeah.
Which rarities determines, I mean, how rare
and they wouldn't
is.
I guess they wouldn't necessarily have to publish prices of cards because those do fluctuate, right? So you don't want to just like have to have that updating all the time.
Yeah.
But just like say like these are the like statistical probabilities of a pack with 2 rares, a pack with this many, a pack with this and this and this.
And when you can look
and then someone else can backwards engineer like, oh, these are the rare cards in this that are available. The best, the highest and best amount for these packs is whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
You can look at previous standard sets to compare it to of like, okay, on average a rare is $2. You know, like some we have up to 5, some rares are worthless. Like you can do the data, but they don't bother.
Well, and just like, I think if they gave you the breakdown of like the statistical probability, I think no one would have a problem with this.
Yes, the probability, and then how much is it actually worth?
Yeah. Well, I do think I agree with you that they probably would never publish that.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not just because of a money grab scheme. It's probably just because of a feasibility thing. Because like how like these card prices just they're like the stock market.
I guess I meant MSRP. That one.
Oh yes. Sorry. Yeah. If they gave us an MSRP, where it's like, yeah, we're selling these to distributors for. I would love to see the distributor price as well.
Yeah, honestly.
Like if they said we're selling this to distributors for 75 cents, our MSRP is $1.50.
Yep.
It's like
done.
Great.
Yeah, but we don't find out distributor prices until basically like right as a set's releasing, and that's only if you go looking for it online from distributors who post it. It's hidden knowledge, so
yeah. We'll see. If
I heard Mark Rosewater, he said the one like saving grace of the value booster is that because somebody asked a question like, well, why not like put a rare in this or make them draftable or whatever, like so you can at least get 2 packs to combined. It would be like 1 draft pack. Mark Rosewater, head of the design but not the CEO or anything of Wizards, he was like, yeah, there's not a whole lot of overlap with like people who want to draft and places where the value boosters are going to be sold. So he kind of told us that it's going to be Walmart
and Dollar Tree.
It's not going to be your local game store, and at least it shouldn't be your local game store trying to sell value boosters for $4. Hopefully not. So it might just be like a whatever, and we forget about the news in a couple of weeks until we see, a value booster. What's that?
Well, when they come out, I might go to Walmart or wherever they're out
and
at.
see check the price at least. Yeah.
Check the price and maybe buy a couple if they're reasonably priced. If like I said, if they're $1.50 or $1, I'd probably grab a couple
just for the dopamine hit. Might be all right.
$2 is probably too much.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
A bunch of commons. If they were good commons, you could play them in Pauper.
True.
But Modern Horizons 3 just came out. I doubt Bloomburrow is going to have anything for Pauper. Modern Horizon 3 commons kind of knocked it out of the park. Some good stuff in there.
Yeah, for real.
Other fun stuff. Got some new keywords in Bloomburrow that are important to talk about with examples.
Yeah.
You want to go with your new favorite one?
The sex or the gifting?
Arguably, gifting is better, right?
So yeah. I have a couple of interesting. There's 2 that I saw that were interesting to me. So, okay, we got to back up. So, Bloomburrow is introducing a lot of new crap.
Yes.
One of them is a new keyword that is gift.
Gift.
And it tells you what you have to gift.
You have to gift an opponent a thing.
And it tells you what to do. So, in this example, there's a card called Wear Down. It's a 1 in a green. It's a sorcery. It says, gift a card, parentheses, to explain what it means. It says, you may promise an opponent a gift as you cast this spell. If you do, they draw a card before its other effects. And so you are gifting the card. A card draw, basically, right? You're letting your opponent draw a card in order to increase the effectiveness of It's just kicker.
It's kicker.
It's your opponent is kicking the card for you.
You're giving them a benefit.
Yeah, and so the effect of this card, for example, wear down is destroy target artifact or enchantment. If the gift was promised,
The gift.
instead destroy 2 artifacts or enchantments.
Yeah. So if you give them a card,
So they get a little bit of card advantage, but you get to destroy an extra.
yeah. So instead of a 1-for-1, you make it a 2-for-2.
Actually, this reads interestingly.
Yeah.
Let me actually ask you this on this one. So it says destroy target artifact or enchantment. Period. If the gift was promised, instead destroy 2 target artifacts and or enchantments.
2 target artifacts and or enchantments. So you can pick 1 artifact and 1 enchantment, or 2 artifacts, or 2
Interesting,
enchantments.
because I read that as 2 artifacts and 2 enchantments.
Right. Yeah.
So, interesting.
Yeah.
Continuing on the gifting topic, it's not just cards that you can gift.
Not just cards.
You can gift a tapped fish.
That's the one I'm looking at, yeah. Gift a tapped fish. Here's a goldfish. So I don't love. Yeah.
You may promise an opponent a gift as you cast this spell. If you do, they create a tapped 1/1 blue fish creature token before its other effects.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is Into the Flood Maw. It's a 1 blue pip instant. It says gift a tapped fish, which we just read, obviously. And then return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. If the gift was promised, that's such a stupid way to say that.
Yeah.
Instead, return target non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand.
Cool.
I mean, I feel like
you get a slightly better effect.
Yeah. It's like,
it's weird. I don't love it from a rules perspective because, like, right, the gift a blank is the new keyword that we have to deal with.
Yep.
And then the reminder text is like, yeah, you may promise an opponent a thing. And then, but then back in the rules text, that, oh yes, if the gift was promised, or the one I'm reading, if the gift wasn't promised, like, so is promise a new? What does promise mean from keywords? I don't know. It seems like a weird translation thing. It's in the reminder text. My other gripe with it is the opponent does the thing before its other effects. Where does that go on the stack, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Can I respond to their creature entering while my card is resolving? Because that breaks rules of Magic. You're not allowed to respond while a card is resolving. So do all of these gift cards put 2 things on the stack?
Well, it says it resolves before. If you do, they create a tapped 1/1 blue fish creature token before its other effects. Wait, so it's halfway through resolving because I
cast my card and I probably have to pick targets if it says like exile a target, whatever, because you have to put targets when things go on the stack.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, but then they make a fish. Okay, what if I have other enter the battlefield effects so I can respond to those while my thing is resolving?
So so like if you play, for example,
I'm a rules advisor and I don't like this. It might be kind of niche, but it's weird.
So like for the example, this Into the Flood Maw one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play it because I need to play a card. It's a 1 blue mana and it
bounces a creature, right?
Well, maybe I'm playing a Storm deck and I just need a cheap extra card to play.
Yeah.
I'm playing the card, right?
Sure.
I don't care if it fizzles. I don't care whatever happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you don't have many creatures on board. I play this card and gift you a 1/1 fish.
Yeah.
Now the effect is return target creature and opponent controls to its owner's hand.
I would normally say you can't target the fish, assuming that's your question.
Yeah.
Because you have to declare targets when you cast a spell, when you put it on the stack.
And then,
but as part of your spell not resolving, it says you may promise as you cast this spell. So they do a thing as you're casting a spell, but your spell isn't on the stack yet, but now you got new stuff on the stack to respond to. So can I can I target their fish with something else as this spell is being cast? I don't like it. I don't like it, Steven.
Yeah, it's weird.
Not a fan from a rules perspective or just the weird wording perspective.
The wording is a cluster.
Gift a card, gift a fish.
Yeah,
but before resolving its other effects. They're trying to simplify by getting rid of enters the battlefield, and now cards just say enters.
Yeah, that's retarded.
When this card enters,
it's such a dumb change.
The another new one you'll see again to simplify things is when this creature leaves the battlefield without dying. I think I'm okay with that one, but we've just never seen that on a card before.
So that's just exile, right?
Yeah, just exile basically, or bounce to hand. Because dying is the in-game terminology of going from the battlefield to the graveyard. So they're saying, yeah, when this creature leaves the battlefield without dying, I guess that's fine.
They must be having they must in the future have some use cases for that, because I don't see
white blue normally flickers things anyway and normally bounces a lot of stuff back to hand, or
but like I feel like there's ways you could have written that already interact with, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably that one I think I'm okay with.
Which card was that on? I didn't see that.
It was some random white rabbit. I don't even know if I saved it, honestly. Just some random common thing.
Oh. Yeah, I don't hate that necessarily. I don't know what the implications of it would be. It doesn't like change. It doesn't make anything.
Yeah, it's not a new keyword, but it is new rules text we've never had before. Yeah. So I might open up some things. Something to keep an eye on. Another fun one, and this is on a whole cycle of cards. I say fun, but actually I don't think I like this one.
Which one?
It's let me see. I'll go with the black one because I think this one was pretty good in terms of a card, but I don't love it. It's Season of Loss. 5 mana black sorcery. You choose up to 5 paw worth of modes.
5 paw?
5 paw.
What?
5 paw, Steven. I don't know how else to explain that. Choose up to 5 paw worth of modes. It's not even English.
What the heck is that?
I know what they're getting at. It's kicker.
It's multi-kicker.
It's multi-kicker, but like it's the same thing with the spree. So it's like you have bullet points. You have paw-themed bullet points, and when you cast the card, you get 5 paw to spend, and then you have 1, 2, 3.
Does it say you get 5 paw, or it just says...
It says choose up to 5 paw when you cast the spell.
It's weird.
It's weird.
I don't hate it as like an effect, though.
Because it's multi-kicker?
Yeah, and it does give you like some variety, right? Where it's like you can choose number 1 twice and number 3 once.
Yeah.
You can choose number 2 twice and number 1 once.
Number 1 once.
Or
you can do 2 and 3.
You can also do number 1 5 times.
Yeah, right.
So
the design space is fine. I feel like there might have been an easier way to do that, or at least make it more evergreen instead of
do with like some sort of random miscellaneous, like a blood counter or something.
Like we've had blood energy counters like that. Can be. No, choose up to 5 animal paw worth of modes.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's a one-off mechanic. Like they're just gonna have, if they want to do this again, they'll just have to redo the mechanic with something else, and then it's just unnecessary bloat because then it'll be 5 energy whatever. Probably some new thing. But I mean, like this one's fine, Season of Loss, because your options are good. It feels like it's designed for commander players. It's like the 1 paw is each player sacrifices a creature. The 2 is draw a card for each creature you controlled that died this turn. And then the 3 is each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. I see like arguably the best option is kind of you do 3 1s, so each player sacrifices 3 creatures, and then the 2, you draw a card for each creature you controlled, so you draw 3 cards. It's not bad. Make everybody sacrifice 3, you draw 3. They have a whole cycle of those. I think the black one is probably the most relevant, but it is odd.
Yeah, I didn't see those, and it's. I don't know what my opinion is about it. It's I think you nailed it on the head, though. I think it's like. But why?
Right?
It's like
choose up to 5 bullet points. I don't know. We gave you $5.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to do stuff on it.
Yeah,
I don't hate it.
No,
on the face of it, but I mean, there's probably a different way to do it that would have been better.
it would have been better.
Like, it was 6 mana to cost? How,
5.
5 mana to
5
cost?
mana black sorcery.
I mean, I feel like you could have just done it with like the spree.
Yeah, probably just spree. They didn't want to make it cost extra mana.
Well, but like make it 1 plus, like how they did, right?
1 plus.
And then make that.
They wanted it to be minimum 5 mana for the spell.
Yeah.
For the design space, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's interesting.
I forgot until I was just looking at this next card I wanted to show off. Another new keyword. Expend. You see expend?
I did the expend. It's
expend.
Weird.
This one is also weird.
I have one of the.
Do you have the trash panda?
The bark knuckle boxer.
Oh no, I have the legendary Muera trash tactician. They went all out with the memes where the raccoons are just trash.
No, I didn't have that one. I have bark knuckle boxer.
Dang, okay.
He's a raccoon berserker.
Gotcha.
He's actually not bad. He's okay.
He's okay.
He's pretty bad.
He's pretty bad. Mine is, like I said, Muera trash tactician. I think she's all right.
So expend.
Expend, yes.
Spend 4 mana.
It's when you,
right?
Yeah, the reminder text is you expend 4 as you spend your 4th total mana to cast spells during a turn, not activated abilities. Semi-important distinction because sometimes it's relevant. But she's a 2/4 raccoon warrior. I'm assuming she, because her name ends in A and I speak Spanish, so Muera. As at the beginning of your first main phase, that's another change that I think I'm okay with. They got rid of pre-combat main phase. Now it's first main phase.
I mean, everyone already said that anyway.
I know, exactly. But in the rules text,
yeah, I don't care.
The beginning of your first main phase, you add a red or green for each raccoon you control. We talked about that last week. Of like,
it's ridiculous.
Raccoon tribal is not.
I hate it.
It's not evergreen, but
I hate it.
But when you expend 4, you gain 3 life. So every turn that you spend 4 mana on spells, you can gain 3 life, like once.
And this is in
Gruul, red green. When you expend 8, you exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You can play those cards. It's like extra card draw if you spend 8 mana to cast a giant creature. Again, I'm okay with expend as a design space, and that seems promising-ish.
Yeah, I don't hate it. My example is a little bit worse than that.
Oh, okay.
So he's only an uncommon. Silver's uncommon?
Yeah, uncommon.
So, like I said, Bark Knuckle Boxer.
Bark.
He's a raccoon berserker. He's a 1 and a green for a 3/2. And then whenever you expend 4, Bark Knuckle Boxer gains indestructible until end of turn.
Oh, all right. That's a legendary now?
No, he's
okay.
uncommon.
I thought you said Bark Knuckle Boxer.
Oh, sorry, Bark Knuckle Boxer.
Oh, okay. I kind of liked his name. Like, his bark is worse than his bite.
Yeah, it's he's not very good, but that's the one I saw. I think I saw another one with expend on it somewhere. Gift, no.
Spend.
No. Nope. Gift a card.
We can talk about Offspring.
We can.
Yeah, alluding to your joke from earlier of making babies is now in Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
They just called it Offspring.
Yeah, the one I have is actually like a pretty reasonable card.
Yeah.
I thought so, at least. He's a rare.
Okay.
It's the Iridescent Vine Slasher.
It's not ringing a bell, but
this guy. I think that's a rare, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go on. Read him.
So he's actually, it's actually pretty cool. So he is just 1 black pip for a 1/2. He is Offspring 2.
Mm-hmm.
Offspring 2 means you may pay an additional 2 mana of any type as you cast this spell. If you do, when this creature enters, meaning enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 token copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all have an ability on top of their,
usually an ETB or like an attack, because the idea is you're gonna have 2 of them.
Yep. So this one is actually pretty good because it's landfall And then it's
Okay.
whenever a land you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to target opponent
in black.
in black.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so it's kind of fun, like, oh, I pay 3 mana and I get double that ability.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, so now each land I played is doing 2 damage, right?
Yeah, or yeah, one each opponent, or 1 to 2 different opponents in Commander. Yeah, I don't hate the offspring mechanic. It sounds kind of funny because we've already have, well, just kicker. You can just say kicker. We had one recently that was called Squad that they've brought back a couple times.
Yeah.
But like, offspring is specifically a 1/1 token copy. Squad was just a literal copy of the creature. Is it an excuse just to sell cute baby token art? Yes, it is. But like, that bunny's going off to war, man.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, this is the Warren War Leader, 4 mana, 4/4 Rabbit Knight with Offspring 2. So if you pay 6 mana, you get the 4/4 and the 1/1. He looks pretty cool, I guess. It's big rabbit with a mace and shield, but they're definitely selling the baby with the
For
mace.
sure they are.
And it's whenever you attack, you choose 1. So it's not when he attacks, so you can do it on the turn he comes out. I do like seeing that. And it's create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token, tapped and attacking, meh. But then attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn.
That's pretty good.
So for 6 mana, you get 2 of those guys, and you can attack that turn, and all of the rest of your guys, because those 2 have summoning sick, the rest of your guys get +2/+2.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's a 6 mana like sorcery, but then also you have the creatures, so you can do that every turn.
Yeah.
There's potential with the offspring mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty okay.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about offspring necessarily. One I am mad about, this one isn't necessarily a new mechanic.
The frogs.
The frogs actually, the design space around the frogs looks cool.
Frogs actually look fun.
There is, there is a Golgari elemental cat creature.
Oh, these are the calamity beasts, I think they're called in the story.
Igra, Eater of All.
Yeah.
So legendary creature. It's 5 mana for a 6/6. Pretty good.
Okay.
Then it has this. I thought this was the dumbest choice ever.
5 mana, 6/6.
Because my opinion is that if there is an ability on a card, the opponent has to have the ability to respond to that card.
Yeah. That's how Magic generally works, yeah.
Right? And not just like when it's entering the battlefield, right? But like at any point, right? So Ward, for example, in my opinion, should always be a payment of some sort. Or sorry, a mana tax of some sort.
Yeah.
Or like discard a card or pay 3 life or something like that, right? Something where everyone can do that so you can still interact with that card. Right? This card.
Oh, what does he have? Ward,
sacrifice of food.
Okay.
Which basically means if you don't have any foods in your deck, which a lot of decks don't, it's indestructible.
And he doesn't give opponents food?
No, so his abilities are... he does, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So he does. It's a dumb way to do it, though, because so what it is other creatures are food artifacts in addition to their other types and have pay 2, tap, and sacrifice is permanent, you gain 3 life.
Oh, no, okay. So I might have a differing opinion than you on this one then.
And then whenever a food is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put 2 1/1 counters on Igra, Eater of All.
Yeah, so he makes you sacrifice a creature in order to target him. Because he turns all your creatures into food.
But, for example, if you are trying to get rid of this guy, right?
Yeah.
And yes, he gives you foods, right? So I guess my opinion is that this ward effect is just so blatantly expensive to pay to try and interact with this guy.
Yeah.
Because you're getting rid of a creature, you're giving this guy +2/+2.
If you're not killing him, hopefully.
Well, but like
anytime a food dies, he gets the +2/+2.
And so it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna deal. oh, I'm gonna pay all this stuff because this guy is killing me or whatever, and I'm gonna, I don't know, what's the one that does 13 damage?
Blasphemous.
Blasphemous act. But before I blasphemous act, I'm gonna kill both of my creatures on the board.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, guess what? You doing that, and I have another 2 creatures on the board as well besides this guy, so I'm just gonna, they're all gonna die anyway, so I'm gonna sacrifice him and he lives
Just buff him up.
because now he's a 14/14.
I definitely see the potential for some oppressiveness with that card.
Yeah, I just think, like, in my opinion, a blasphemous act is like probably one of the better board wipes, unless you're playing like against a big green stompy deck.
Sure,
but
sure.
like
1 mana to basically kill every creature. It's pretty good.
I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like this guy is just so like they should have just given him indestructible.
Gotcha.
In my opinion,
Ward, sacrifice of food.
like if they just given him indestructible and then the other stuff, I don't think I would have a problem.
Yeah,
with
because it makes all other creatures food, right? So you can utilize it a lot with your creatures to buff him up.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, at that rate, actually, because most we've seen is like aristocrat strategies is sacrifice your own creature, and at most you get like a 1/1 counter on a thing. At that rate, you can be sacrificing your own creatures and getting 2 1/1 counters on your guy.
And it's not even.
And he has ward.
And you would obviously build him in a food centric deck.
No, you don't need to. All your creatures are food.
Yeah, but I guess in Golgari with the black creatures, I was thinking green creatures normally you don't want to sack them because they're usually bigger. Right?
Yeah, Golgari. You can. Yeah, it's tokens.
Ones. Yeah.
All your tokens are food.
Yeah, that's fair.
The combo player in me, aside from the oppression part, ward, whatever, who cares? I turn all my creatures into artifacts, Steven. Yeah. It's really hard to turn creatures into artifacts permanently. There's now one more, but there's only a few effects that actually do that. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, what can I do in Golgari if all of my creatures are artifacts?
I will say I really like his other two abilities. The ward, I hate it on this card.
Yeah.
Because like it just feels so unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you're like, oh, I'm giving you, like you said, huge combo potential, huge big stompy creature potential.
He's a 5 mana, right?
5 mana 6/6 natively
6/6,
with ward sacrifice of food.
Yeah, at least he doesn't have trample or anything on him. Another keyword would be.
Yeah, that's true.
Oof, yeah, because trample with that big boy. Oof.
Yeah,
he's gonna get big.
I mean, like it's ward 2 and sack a creature.
Yeah,
because you have to pay 2 to sack one of your creatures.
A food, yeah,
a food creature.
Oh no, yeah. So it's not. You wouldn't have to pay the 2 mana. It's just in order to target him, you would have to sacrifice one of your creatures.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
If you wanted to like use your creatures as food to like just gain life, you would just be giving him 2 1/1 counters, which is not good.
Yeah, I just think it's I thought it was a little bit too oppressive.
Yeah. No, I do definitely see that, and people would probably use it like that. Whereas I just want to turn my guys into artifacts and see if I can do something fun with that.
Well, artifact and food. Because there's like you have a good deck that has some decent synergy with food.
With food, yeah.
And so it's like
whenever you sacrifice a food, you put some counters on stuff, and yeah.
This guy.
Yep.
Whenever a food is put into a graveyard from the battlefield.
Right.
It doesn't matter how it is.
Activated abilities of food cost 1 less. I know that's a lines text, so
it's pretty okay.
What was the name on that one?
Ygra, Eater of All. YGRA. Ygra?
Ygra, yeah. They had a lot of the like calamity beasts as like big bad guys in this set, so
yeah. I just felt it just feels so oppressive to me.
Yeah. One of the other big baddies, I think they're probably all mythics, I'm assuming.
This one is mythic, right?
I don't think this one's amazing in Commander, but it has potential. At least not as a commander, but in the 99. That one I think can be its own commander.
Yeah, for sure.
This one is 5 mana, 6/5 elemental bird. It's Maha. It's Feathers Knight, which doesn't sound like English.
I think I read this guy. Yeah.
It's because it's like that's the name, and then the bird's title is it's Feathers Knight.
Yeah.
Because it's a black bird thing. 6/5 Flample, pretty good. Flying Trample.
Very good.
I would say there's, if you're playing just like draft in this set, like everything has reach in this set. It's weird. So many things with reach, just like random mice with bows.
Yeah.
Big tall squirrels. Everything has reach. So flying is like less important. But this one just has ward, discard a card. Seen that before? It's pretty good. Pretty safe.
Way okay with that.
Because then you have to 2-for-1 yourself. You have to cast a spell and get rid of another card to kill this thing. That's good. And then creatures your opponents control have base toughness 1.
Yuck.
Yeah. I'm like, that's not oppressive. But that's pretty cool. That's flavorful for black. Not super enough to build around, but good in the 99, I think, of a deck. It's not as oppressive as like Elish Norn. She's the white Praetorian, where it's all your creatures are +2/+2, all your opponent's creatures -2/-2. That one you can then just wipe opponent's boards easy.
Yeah.
This one is at least like, okay, base toughness 1. They can still pump it. They can still have 1/1 counters. It is good.
Like,
but
I'm thinking of like, this would actually just help my big green stompy deck.
oh yeah, because they're all 0/0s anyway.
They're all natively like 0/0, or like it's like or they're like a 3/3, but I put like 17 counters on them. So it's like, oh, now they're a 3/1 with 17 1/1 counters.
I think it's kind of cool since they're doing the big like flavorful evil animal villains in this set. Like that's a cool like evil effect for the whole board.
I'm okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I agree. Maybe not commander level, but
yeah.
Unless you were trying to do like
board wipe tribal. No.
Well, it's like you could be very oppressive with that, where you play that, and then you have another card that gives -1/-1 to every creature.
Yeah, it kills anything that doesn't have a buff to its toughness. Yeah. Moving on, we gotta mention a couple new creature types.
I want to mention a planeswalker as well.
Oh, the planeswalker. Which planeswalker did you pick?
Nisa.
Oh, okay.
Nisa, who shakes the world.
Yeah, I was about to say you probably picked. This is not a new card.
Really?
Yeah. So there's some more news that came out this week. This is a reprint of old planeswalkers. I think they're picking 10 planeswalkers in animal form, but they're only in collector boosters, I think. Quote me on that one.
Okay.
But they're not standard legal because the Jace, they picked a Jace, and he's like the most expensive, most broken Jace ever.
Gotcha.
So they're like, no, we're not bringing him back to standard. We just want a Jace as a fox. And they made Nissa a frog.
Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, in that case, she's. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, not a new card. It's a good one though.
She's really. I thought she was a little bit.
She's mono green though. Is what limits her.
Yes, she is. I think it's probably fair, and it fits well with mono green in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right. So it's whenever you tap. It's just ramp. It's ramp. Yeah. It's whenever static ability is whenever you tap a forest for mana, add an additional green mana,
which is why it's better in mono green.
Yep. And then pay one, or sorry, pay +1.
Mm-hmm.
Put 3 1/1 counters on up to one target non-land creature. Sorry. Put 3 1/1 counters on up to one target non-creature land.
Non-creature land.
Untap it, which is really cool because you get to untap
you
a
can
land.
Ramp.
Yeah.
Not ramp, but reuse the mana. Yeah.
Up your +1 gives you 4 mana.
Yeah.
Right, because you can pay 2, tap it for 2 mana, and then
untap
it. Untaps it, and then untap it. It becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with vigilance and haste that is still a land. You can still tap it.
You can still tap it if you want.
So it's like, okay, I get 1 on my planeswalker, and then I get 4 mana too.
So,
okay, and then you can get You can pay -8 and get an emblem with lands you control have indestructible.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty good. But then search your library for any number of forest cards.
Yeah,
put them onto the battlefield. Tap, then shuffle.
Yeah,
and that's only a -8, and she starts with 5. So you get
just a couple turns.
You get 3 3/3s, and then
you're doubling your green mana until then. Yeah, no, she's very strong.
Yeah, I thought she was really good. I might miss it. My big.
Not a reprint, but cool new art. So
yeah, I honestly think the art's pretty sick too.
I didn't save the Jace, but he's an otter. I thought I saved. The Liliana. She's a squirrel. Which is funny. They picked like the strongest Jace ever, but they picked a pretty lame Liliana. So not even worth sharing. But squirrel necromancer.
She looks sick, yeah.
Like they made all the squirrels like creepy necromancers in the set anyway, so it's kind of funny. A new planeswalker, since we're on the theme, is this one's weird. It's counter to what I just said, but this is Raoul, who was a blue-red planeswalker previously, but this is actually a new standard legal planeswalker.
Gotcha.
He's not just an animal-fied reprint, even though he's an otter now for some reason. He was just a dude before. He's a 4 mana, so 2, a blue and a red. He starts with 4 loyalty. His static is just whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put a counter on him, a loyalty counter.
Whenever you cast a non-creature... Oh, yikes.
So that could be good. And blue-red is doing what blue-red does and casts tons of spells.
Storm deck would be nasty.
I'm getting there. You've heard of the Storm Scale, right?
The Storm Scale?
Yeah, it's the official, unofficial... every keyword goes on the Storm Scale, and it's the official viability of or odds of them getting reprinted.
Oh,
and it's called the Storm Scale because Storm is 10. They're like, we're never, basically almost never going to reprint Storm. Right?
Because it's crazy. It's so powerful.
It's so powerful. Whereas a 1 is all the evergreen keywords like trample, flying. That's in every set.
Yeah.
So something like banding is at like a 10 because they're like, we're never reprinting banding. That was dumb.
That's an interesting scale.
It's called the Storm Scale.
That makes sense.
Yeah. His +1, you make a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the cards in the set do that, otter tokens. -3 is draw 3 and then discard 2. I don't think that's very strong because you want to get them up to 10, which is -10. Draw 3 cards. You get an emblem with instants and sorcery spells you cast have Storm. Live reaction from Steven.
That is the most insane. Okay, so his static ability
is just cast a spell, get a counter on him.
Hey,
any non-creature, you can just cast 0 cost artifacts all day and put counters on them. -10.
That is insane.
Emblems can't interact with them. All your instants and sorceries have Storm for the rest of the game.
I feel like there has to be like some sort of combo where it's like there has to be like a 0 cost artifact or something like that, where it's like it taps and it returns to your hand or something.
There's ways you can make it work. Yep.
Or you can return it to your hand like a bunch of times.
Sensei's Divining Top is part of a 2 or 3 card combo. Several 2 or 3 card combos that does that.
And you just bounce it back to your hand a gazillion times until he has you play him, you wait to activate his loyalty counter.
Yeah.
And then because you can activate the loyalty counter at any point.
At sorcery speed, yeah.
Yeah, sorcery.
You get priority after you cast a planeswalker
to activate.
So if you don't activate a loyalty ability and you do something else, they can respond and kill your planeswalker.
Sure. But
you're in blue-red, so you're keeping up mana for counter spells anyway.
Yeah. Well, and then you just play a bunch of cheap spells.
Yeah.
Get him up to 10 or 11. So
11, maybe. So he lives if you want.
Yeah. And then...
But once you get the emblem, I mean... Then after that, you've already cast probably a lot of spells, so your next instance, a lightning bolt 27 times. Or, at that point, probably infinity. You probably have an infinite.
So
combo.
how... Interesting.
Every instant in sorcery has Storm. Okay. If he wasn't green, it'd be like, I guess I'll just rampant growth 27 times and get all the lands out of my deck.
Yeah, for real.
There's a reason Storm is at a 10. It's called the Storm Scale because putting Storm on a card, even like the most bland, boring cards ever, but it has Storm on it, it's playable.
Yeah, it's like Storm, draw a card.
Yeah, Storm gain 3 life is one that's not banned, actually, in a lot of places. Storm,
that's insane.
Storm, create a 1/1 token. That one's banned in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Storm, deal 1 damage. That's banned in a lot of places.
Yeah, because you could do 77 damage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just putting Storm on anything is not allowed. It shouldn't be allowed.
Well, and that gives all of your instances... Like, Storm Jeskai.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I now have 37 red mana to spend.
And you exile the top 10 cards or 30 cards of your library. You can play them all this turn.
That's game winning.
Yeah, no, it is. It's so easy to add counters to this guy. Blows my mind. I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, I think Storm's at a 9 now because they reprinted something that breaks it.
Yeah, exactly. Why? That's why it's the unofficial Storm scale. But
Yeah.
Mark Rosewater uses it. Like,
Well, I mean, it's a reasonable scale.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense that you would have something like that even in the back of your mind. You
Mhm.
know?
of like, oh hey, let's look. Oh, there's a cool mechanic that's like a 7. We haven't used it in a while. Let's pull it in as a focus for this set.
Yeah.
They've done that with like Poison, for instance.
Yeah.
Infect, I think, is at a 9 or 10.
Yeah.
But they're like Poison counters is like a 6 or 7. So they did it. They pulled it back with Toxic.
Yeah.
Um.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm conflicted on Bloomburrow. I think we've summarized it well over today and last week of like, don't love some of the themes, don't love some of the new keywords. I don't love this crazy powerful thing, but then also some of the art's cool.
The art's pretty neat.
They have interesting design space, maybe going forward.
Yeah, I give it a solid smack dab in the middle 5 rating.
Right in the middle.
Yeah. Like
yeah.
They're opening up a decent amount of design space.
Mm-hmm.
The keywords could use some work, in my opinion. Some of the new, they're making some stupid broken stuff and some like really like meh stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like
maybe kind of some fun stuff for Commander, but nothing probably too broken.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't hate it.
If the peak of this season, of this set for me would be if I can go to the Dollar Tree, pack some $1, crack open some $1 boosters, get some cool fun art to show to my wife who likes animal art. Boom, done.
If those value boosters are $1, I think that's probably okay.
Like, look, if I go, oh sweet, there's a cool lizard, and I show my wife, hey, look at this cool rabbit. Nice, done.
Yeah, I do think that going back to the first thing, the value boosters, if they're anything over $1.25, $1.50, such a ripoff.
Get them out.
But if they're $1.25, it's probably worth.
Yeah.
Just for the fun.
For the fun.
Like you're going to Walmart to get your groceries or whatever. You're going to the Dollar Tree to buy a notebook or something like that.
It's right there.
It's like, I'll buy a couple of these. Pick up 4 packs for
just for
$5. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't mind that. But if they're $2 a piece, no thanks.
No thanks. Do you have any to finish it off? Do you have any fun cards? Because I want to show off a first Weasel in Magic the Gathering.
Oh, I think the infamous Cruel Claw, is that the one you're?
No, so I picked the non-legendary Weasel actually. I did see him. I like the art on this one better.
Let's see.
To encapsulate a Weasel.
There's actually 2.
You mentioned the skunks earlier.
Yeah, there's the Skunk Assassin.
Every skunk is an assassin.
So let me see here. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Yeah, Skunk Assassin, 4 black for a 4/2 with flash. And when it enters, choose 1. Either target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1, or destroy target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn.
Oh, okay.
So
seems fine.
4 mana, 4/2 semi-removal.
It's for draft, but like
it's an uncommon.
Yeah.
So like meh. The other spell that I saw that is, in my opinion, pretty good is a black X spell.
Okay.
It's a X and 2 black tips called Stargaze.
Stargaze.
You see this one?
No, I don't recall.
It's a sorcery. It says look at twice X cards from the top of your library.
This rings a bell now. Yep.
Put X cards from among them into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. You lose X life. So it's a little bit expensive if X starts to get high.
Yeah.
But you get to look at 2 times X. So
dig deep.
Like it's 2 black pips and X. So let's say you pay 6 mana for it, right? So you're looking at 8 cards from the top of your library, and you're losing 4 life.
But you're picking the best 4 cards of the top 8,
and the other ones go into your graveyard. They don't get like exiled or anything like that,
which is also good.
So like you can choose to, if you have a graveyard active deck, it's like, oh, these ones are good to play now, but I want to play these ones later, right? And then the other ones, like, you either just like throw them into your hand as like discard chaff or whatever you want to do. I thought it was a really, really good card.
It's variable. That's good design space. I like that.
I like it as well. I think that's all I had though.
Okay, I got to show off the Bright Blade Stoat.
Stoat?
He's a Stoat, which is a type of weasel, I think. So he's a 2 mana 2/2 weasel soldier.
Cool.
With first strike and lifelink.
That's pretty good. White.
It was white. Yeah, I like Simple cards. We don't need paragraphs. They call
that's it. He's just
2 mana 2/2 first strike lifelink.
pretty good. Common?
Uncommon.
Dang.
Probably should be a common these days, but
Pauper deck.
maybe it'd be too good for Pauper.
Yeah.
You have the Weasel deck, but I don't know. It's good art.
He looks pretty sick.
It's nice. Weasel with a little dagger.
Yeah. He looks pretty. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right? Like.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Actually, I do have a lizard because I like lizards.
You gotta get yourself a lizard.
Yeah, probably.
Like a nice little like terrarium.
Terrarium, yeah, for a lizard. This is a frilled spark shooter, and he's one of the frilled lizards, so he's got the big thing, and he's got a bow.
That's dope.
He's pretty cool. So he's got reach, obviously.
In red. And menace.
Yeah, 4 mana, 3/3 menace reach. I picked him for the art, but
yeah,
he's a common with menace and reach. When he frilled spark shooter enters with the 1/1 counter if an opponent lost life this turn, so he can be a 4/4.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but
I like it.
It's cool. He's got his frills up and he's firing an arrow.
Yeah. Pretty neat.
Bloomburrow, man, I'm tossed.
Yeah, I'll give it a solid 5.5 out of 10.
Yep.
There's like a lot of things I don't like and a lot of things I do.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
it.
pause because I really got to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
All right.
So, what do you think? Do we want to make this just a total nerd episode, or we could try to go to some of our normal person topics? Because if we just want to nerd out, we can talk OPR. We
could talk OPR. It's always a good topic.
Or we can do normal stuff. You have a TV show that you wanted to talk about?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to recommend a TV show to everyone.
Okay.
It's, if you're into the period dramas, there's one that is in German.
Nice.
So it's about the Austrian Empire in like the mid 18 to late 1800s.
That's actually really cool. I don't know enough about that period of history, but I've always would like to.
So it's really fascinating because I really appreciate the show. One, because it like is just good show, good storyline.
Oh, okay.
Right. Ryan, it's pretty short, long episodes, about an hour and 10 minutes per episode.
It feels like a historical drama.
Yeah, it does. And
long episodes.
It doesn't feel like there's any like input from like modern times into it,
I imagine it's probably a small German studio then.
Probably, yeah. It's on Netflix. It's called The Empress.
The Empress.
Yep, The Empress. It's about Empress Elizabeth and her marrying into the royal family. Gotcha. So she is the emperor. What's his name? They call him just Franz, but his name is. He's the emperor before the emperor of World War I.
Yeah.
And they're cousins, and you know how all that stuff.
They were just making political alliances left and right.
Yeah, so
didn't worry about bloodlines.
She's the bloodline of Bavaria in Germany, and his bloodline from his father is the Austrian bloodline, right?
Okay,
and so Bavaria was the more powerful German state, and Austria had conquered that German state, and so to tie those two together,
it's like a peace treaty.
Yeah. But it's been really fun because no one ever really focuses on that time period, but it's right during the modernization of the Austrian Empire, which is Austria, Hungary, Germany, a huge swath of Europe,
Totally.
So
the Germanic countries,
and I think even like the Czechia and Slovakia area, I think were part of it.
Right.
Huge empire. I think at this point it was like the second largest empire in Europe.
Dang.
And the only one that was bigger was the Russian Empire.
Well, yeah.
And so like, pretty big. But it's just really fun because it's caused me to go and look into that history a little bit more and read about it, because like I'd never heard about any of these people. And I'd never even heard of like the Austrian revolutions.
Right.
And so going back and like looking at it, because one thing I really appreciate about this show is they think that their audience is intelligent, and so they don't like tell you the history.
Yeah.
They're like, this is what has happened, or they don't say like, here is all the backstory about this
because it's a period piece. They say that's not how people talk.
like in like one of the first or second episode, the queen mother
Mm-hmm.
or the empress mother, however that works, says, we would not have survived the revolution without X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, wait, what revolution?
The revolution.
So I had to pause, look up. They're talking about this revolution. That's cool.
Oh, they had a bloody revolution.
Exactly. And it's like, and the monarchy survived the revolution because of whatever.
Okay.
And so like they just say that, expecting that you know that already, which I really appreciate in historical pieces, because I don't need you to say like, I don't need you to go from Adam and Eve to now.
Yeah.
I need you to tell me the story of what's happening in these years and expect that I can do my own research outside of it.
And
right?
even if you don't, they show you enough, probably with the context and the body language, you can understand the emotions of the characters in that time period, because they said, oh yeah, that revolution. And they're like, oh yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I enjoyed from like Peaky Blinders. They didn't show you World War One, but they were all World War One vets, and you saw that.
Yep.
That sounds really cool. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah. So it's in German. My wife and I are watching it in German,
English
with subtitles.
Yeah.
Which it's the best way to It's the best way to watch shows.
Comment on that, since you mentioned that a couple weeks ago. Godzilla -1 came out on Netflix.
So
my dad rewatched it in with the English dub, and he was like, it wasn't as good.
Really?
He said it was fine.
Yeah.
It was okay, but he's like, the emotion of the Japanese voices just fit so well. And so they even like changed a couple lines slightly to make it sound better. And he's like, oh yeah, the original language is the way to go.
You have to watch it in the original language.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't read the subtitles, get good.
Yeah.
Like, go back to first grade.
It's not hard. I don't think it's hard, but
that's how I prefer watching any TV show.
Exactly. If I'm reading anyway,
like
I don't mind hearing another language and then reading. Like,
and I personally find German to be a very, very nice language to listen to.
It doesn't get the hate from all it doesn't deserve the hate from all the memes of the.
I don't think so. I just think we always. I mean, it's funny to meme on it, right? Like, I'm not mad about the memes of it, right? Like,
I'm so offended.
It's obviously very funny. I just think it's because of Hitler.
Oh, right.
Because he always had his very charismatic speeches that were, like going off on the Jews or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
But like, I do think like the way that at least these characters are speaking it, and even like in All Quiet on the Western Front, it's like it's not like a super like
ugly,
abrasive language necessarily.
No, yeah, not really.
It's not a Latin language, so you're not going to get the suave and the sing-songy. It's still a Germanic language, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to watch a show, you have to watch it in the original language. And
sure.
We're going back to a point I've made previously, probably a couple times. I think American film is dead. Because the TV shows that Germany and the actors and actresses in Germany and in the Norse countries, like Sisu, for example.
Oh, sure.
Finnish, Swedish, whatever.
Yep.
The production quality of these shows and the artisticness, but not being like, this is artistic.
Ooh, we're so artistic.
It's not artistic. It's autistic.
Yeah.
What it is.
Yeah.
Stupid. Like the art, the way they filmed these is so good, and it's probably really easy for them to film these shows as well, because there's a gazillion castles in these countries.
Also
so
true, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, this is a period piece. It's like, well, like which castle do we want to use? There's one up the road that's for rent for $1,000 a day.
One of the producers is like, I got one in my backyard.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and so it's like, and I don't know, like, so I will say, for the most part, period drama, it seems to be a reasonably historically accurate period drama. I'm sure that they like fluffed up some of the conversations,
some things,
right?
Yeah.
But like, they're talking about the Napoleonic War with Russia.
Oh yeah. And
like how Napoleon is attacking Russia, and then the Austrian Empire is like,
caught in the middle.
We're friends with France and we're friends with Germany, or we're friends with Russia. So like, what do we do? And the emperor, the young emperor, is like, but don't really want to go to war.
No.
Like, there's no reason for us to go to war. They're attacking each other, and like, meh. We don't. They're bankrupt basically.
Yeah.
So they're like, we don't have the money to spend on this.
That's cool. That's cool to explore that. Yeah, that period of history from that perspective.
I would 100%. It gets a strong 9.25 out of 10 from Steven.
Steven approves.
I might knock that down a little bit because there's a little bit too much sex for me.
Hmm.
Just, I mean, it's not.
Let's tone it down to like Magic the Gathering levels of sex. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not every episode.
oh yeah.
It's not every episode. I think there's been like,
But there's sometimes you're like, okay, maybe this is a little egregious. Like,
and I mean, it's not like
was this much sex relevant to the story, like Game of Thrones style?
so it's not even close to that.
Okay, yeah.
It's not even close to that.
Yeah, because that was definitely over the top, but it wasn't trying to be.
I don't think it's over the top in this one. Just personally, I could use a little bit less.
Yeah, right.
Just
I get it. Sometimes it's relevant to the story, but like most times, it's not that important.
And they're not very long, so it's like whatever.
Right.
So anyway.
Yeah.
No,
The Empress.
9.2 out of 10. Definitely a recommend.
That's cool.
Steven. So if you're into that sort of period drama, obviously like period dramas or historic dramas is probably better.
Historical drama
is like, not for everyone probably.
Yeah,
but
an acquired taste,
but I think everyone should give it a shot.
Cool.
I was not bored even in episode 1, and normally like episode 1 of TV shows is like, all right, I'm gonna give it a couple episodes. Episode 1 was great, so
nice.
They have already confirmed a season 2 that's gonna happen. So anyway,
cool. Good to hear them. Yeah, The Empress.
Yeah, highly recommend.
I like it. I don't really have any shows to recommend. I watched a
Um,
movie or two, but
what movies?
you watched The Beekeeper with Jason Statham?
I heard it was okay.
It was all right.
I heard it was a pretty like run-of-the-mill Jason Statham movie.
Yeah, it's turn your brain off and watch a Jason Statham just one-man army his way up to, the U.S. government, Jason Bourne style.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, it was fine.
What is it on?
Amazon Prime now,
Nice.
but it came out just a few months ago.
Yeah,
at theaters. So
is it free on Amazon?
Mhm.
Nice.
I think it had ads, but yeah, no, it was fine. Like I didn't love there's this story of like the FBI agent who's like chasing them. That character was abysmal. Writing was terrible with that, but like Jason Statham's character was cool. He had some funny one-liners, had some good action scenes. He like sawed off a dude's fingers.
Nice.
There was one that was totally unrealistic, but I was willing to accept it because it was cool. Some dude's like coming at him with a shotgun, and he like takes the barrel off of the shotgun and stabs the guy in the throat. I was like, you have to like unscrew the thing. You can't.
That'd be impressive to like actually like.
Yeah, to like unscrew it real quick. I had to like rewind and slow mo that one. I'm like, no, they just like made him slip off the barrel. Well, whatever. It kind of looked cool.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like it had some, and he's the beekeeper, so he's like. He uses all these like bee analogies. He's like, I'm just protecting the hive. Like it's almost cheesy, but it's very funny. He's like,
that's funny.
He's like, yeah, I gotta smoke out the enemies or whatever, and so he ends up lighting a lot of buildings on fire.
That's hilarious.
Like, he's a beekeeper. Like they leaned fully into it, but it's not a parody. It is just like a real action movie. So it was fun.
What you said? You had 2 movies, maybe?
That one. Oh, and then one my dad recommended that I can't tell you anything about the movie. You just have to watch it. It's called Predestination. It's with Ethan Hawke, and it's a sci-fi movie. It's about all I can tell you about that one because it's like anything spoils it. But it was all right. It was kind of cool. I'm kind of excited to go talk to my dad about it since he recommended it. But if you're into like interesting sci-fi movies,
also on Amazon.
Yeah, also on Amazon
for free. Nice.
Predestination. Yeah.
It's got to be like a religious sci-fi movie.
It was pretty interesting. Yeah.
You're trying not to give any spoilers.
I'm trying not to give any spoilers because you just got to sit down and watch the first third. The first act is like a little slow, but
they're setting up for the.
They're setting up, and if I tell you it's a sci-fi movie, just wait. The sci-fi's coming. The first act you can't really tell it's a sci-fi movie.
Okay.
So.
Maybe Ryan and I'll watch that during dinner tonight or something.
And you do have to be watching. You do have to be paying attention.
Okay.
It's an interesting movie. I don't know if it's like...
It's not a definitely watch.
Yeah, it's not like a 10 out of 10, but it's worth watching because it gets you thinking.
It's 6.5, 7?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's just the fact that of the sci-fi concepts it's exploring, I did find intriguing. Like, I think they did that version of sci-fi pretty well. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Enjoyable enough to watch, but you do have to pay attention to it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's what I watched this week, I think.
What else should we hablar?
We can hablar.
Discutir.
Discutir. Oh my goodness.
Discuss?
Oh, discuss. Pretty sure discutir is argue in Spanish.
It's both in Portuguese.
Oh, okay. Are you arguing with me?
I'm just discussing.
In that case,
Vamos falar.
what do
Falar.
you want to do with me?
Falar.
Okay.
Falar is to speak.
With an A, falar. Okay, you're not. Never mind. For our bilingual listeners. Oh! Deep Rock Galactic video games.
Oh yeah, I wanted to. I think what we can do. I want to show you a. So I was on a TikTok this morning, as I want to do on Saturday mornings.
Nice.
But I think what we can do is I can actually save this video and we can insert it into the.
Oh, fun. Okay.
I think I can do that here.
Our production value is going up.
Yeah, let me actually do that. Save video. All right, and it's now downloading. But I want to show it to you.
All right.
And then get your take on it.
Trevor's live reaction.
It looks pretty sick. So let's.
This isn't the one of like the two drillers. Not yet. I saw a meme of like drillers with a one single shared brain cell between them, and it's like one has the flamethrower, one has the ice gun, and they're both trying to like kill the boss.
It's not that.
Okay.
No.
Drill-elevator!
Oh, it's a drill and an elevator. I get it now.
Cool. That's from them official. That's cool.
Yeah, that's their official TikTok account.
Yeah.
That looked like, for me, I was like, oh, dude, I've got to start playing that again because that was sick.
Yeah, new mission type where it's more or less you're the drill escort, but now you're going down.
Yeah.
Seems cool. The drill-elevator. And then, yeah, there were some crazy new enemies.
New guns.
New gun. Oh, okay. Did they have new guns?
Yeah,
I couldn't quite tell.
It's hard to tell in the video, but it looked like there was like some new laser guns.
Yeah, there was. I'm assuming
like a cluster grenade type thing.
One was just like a DMR type like scout rifle thing.
Yeah, it looked like, for me, like I watched that this morning and I was like, I'm hopping on that game today.
That looked pretty cool. I had heard they were like starting a new season soonish, but
that's season 5. The last season I played was 3.
3, okay. I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3.
I believe the last one I played was 3. And I think unless you played recently, I think that's when we both kind of like hopped off.
Yeah.
But like, great game.
Totally, yeah.
Probably, like, I'd give that game a solid 9 out of 10.
It's good. It's good multiplayer wave. First-person shooter, like.
Yeah. No, I literally might like text you guys this afternoon and say like, hey,
hop on
for dinner time. You guys want to spend an hour or two on a Deep Rock Galactic to?
Yeah, I can go. Should already be downloaded, but I'll go install it.
Probably needs an update.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, dude, this looks super sick.
It looks like fun.
It looks like super sick.
Drill-elevator.
So, anyway, yeah.
Danger Darkness Dwarves.
Yep.
Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah. Probably one of the most fun co-op games that we've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be willing to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on one of the top of my list. So
definitely.
Anyway,
that does look cool. Yeah. Thanks for showing me.
Yeah, and I'll try to interpose that.
The video.
Yep.
Not sponsored, but go play Deep Rock Galactic.
But if Deep Rock Galactic wants to sponsor us, I'd be down.
It's not even a sellout. We just said it's a fantastic game.
Right. Did you want to talk about OPR or anything else, or how much? What time? 5
minutes to our timer.
We got another topic and then a card.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
We do our OPR wrap up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
1-page rules.
We've talked about it before.
Yeah, the new tabletop gaming rules.
Makes Warhammer way more fun.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's simple. It's a lot simpler for playing with your buddies.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it gets like so, and I think we've talked about this before, but it doesn't feel like so simple to like dumb down the game.
No.
It just feels like it streamlines every process of Warhammer to make it better.
If you want to, like, if you have any desire to play like a tabletop wargaming game,
100% 1-page.
1-page rules just lets you hop in and do that.
Yeah.
Like, Warhammer it has a high barrier of entry.
Yep.
Even though it is the most popular one, it's been around for decades. Like, yeah,
I think 1-page rules is gonna take them over.
Yeah, it's clever. It's fun. We've enjoyed it. We've been playing a campaign rule set you can do, so it's like not professional at all. Like, it's just for having fun, and it's like episodic each week, and there's slight elements of like role playing just because we pick our armies and our heroes and we give them names and we go to battle, and each week is like relevant because we're fighting for victory points in an overall campaign. It's a fantastic game. It's a lot of fun. I
agree.
we have finished our second campaign now. We did 2 5-mission campaigns.
First one I got creamed. Didn't win a single match.
Right, yeah.
I was playing the Death Corps of Krieg, and my Krugers just got absolutely obliterated by Caleb's battle tank.
My tanks, yeah.
Yeah, tanks. Tanks are pretty good in the campaigns.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but you and I on this second campaign tied.
We came head to head.
We did come head to head. The 2 melee centric. Well, I'm not that melee centric. I mean, I am a little bit, but
yeah, you're pretty melee centric.
But you won the first. No, I
won 2 and 3.
2 and 3, and I won 4 and 5.
4 and 5. Once your army got big enough, it was.
Well, so I think we discussed this. My army. So I played Crystalids, which is a Tyranid variant.
Yeah. Rock Tyranids.
They just have a little bit of different rule set.
You're the Deep Rock Galactic aliens. I think that they're called glyphids in there, I think.
But my army at the beginning, atrocious. I would get demolished. Then eventually on game 3, I think it was pretty close between you and I.
I didn't think I was going to win that one, actually. So
I didn't think I was going to win this last one. But game 3, you and I were very close. I think you eked it out by 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, 1. I'm pretty sure it was very close.
And then I won 4 and 5. And I think, and that was right around 2,000 points, which is how you determine how many models and units.
How big your army can be.
I honestly think that my army is a fantastic, like 2,500 points would probably be like the best army you could build with it versus other armies, right?
Sure.
Before you start getting into like, Caleb has a freaking the main battle tank, like what do they call
Doom Blades, Bane Blades.
Bane Blades.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's just gonna nuke anything of mine, and I don't have any pen, so it's like,
right,
whatever, or not pen,
AP, armor piercing.
Yeah. But it's like, I think your army was kind of maybe not opposite, but like opposite. It felt like maybe you had some pretty hard falls. You had like 2 units get fully as well,
because of the campaign.
And I wonder if that would
have
changed something significantly, because you were pretty close even on the last match.
Like the underdog points kind of make up for it, but not totally. So yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Anyway, we still have to figure out who's gonna take Max Trox, Mintrox,
Max. I think we're
Mintrox.
Oh, okay.
Caleb made a whole
planet.
Or a couple continents
that we're fighting on.
Yeah, and a couple provinces that we've battled over, and
we're just playing Risk.
Well,
Yeah.
risk with extra steps.
with extra steps.
Is every board game risk with extra steps?
I think so.
I don't know.
Every video game is either parkour or menus.
What?
Saw that meme a couple weeks ago.
I don't know if that's true.
It's either just menus or it's parkour.
I don't feel like most first-person shooters fit that description.
You're right. They're probably actually menus. No, most like RPGs are actually just menus, and it's just like stats and abilities and stuff.
that's fair.
Or it's like, because even like Call of Duty, even first-person shooters these days
That's
have parkour. Yeah.
Yeah, but like CS Counter-Strike doesn't have any.
Oh, probably not. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like-
It is a lot of menus though,
Counter-Strike?
but not exclusively menus. I would say.
Counter-Strike has like one menu at the beginning to choose your weapons, and then that's it.
Yeah, you gotta pick your loadouts.
I mean, you can even not even open the menu.
That's
You
true.
just push F4 and it auto buys. F3? One of those.
One of those auto buy.
Or it rebuys what you previously bought.
Yeah, that was a meme I heard.
That's
But
pretty funny though.
yeah. Every board game is just Risk.
It's like the whole theory that everything's either a Wellington or a lasagna.
Oh.
Or no, Wellington or lasagna?
Or an empanada
No, because an empanada is just a Wellington.
is a Wellington. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Every culture has an empanada, so
Every culture has some sort of empanada.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. It's pretty
Yeah.
mind blowing when you find that one out. You're like,
So
wow.
every single culture since the beginning of time has some sort of empanada and some sort of alcohol, like beer.
Oh yeah,
Like every single one has
it's true. Lasagna. What did it classify? A sandwich as a lasagna?
lasagna,
Yeah, okay. It's just layers of stuff,
layers of stuff.
and then the Wellington or the empanada is like bread around stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. Not bad.
So every single food apparently can be classified.
Every
as one of
food
those.
can be one of those.
There might be a third. It might be salad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like soup is a salad.
Is actually just a salad.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Any sort of salad or slaw. I mean, yeah, it's just a
Yeah, it's just a salad.
just a
And I
combination.
think it's a homogeneous mix of stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
It's either layered, random, or circular.
Yeah. Wrapped. Yeah.
Wrapped. That's funny.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
It's pretty good. I'm gonna have to be thinking of that all the time now.
Yeah. Well, there's also like the whole matrix, the 9x9 matrix.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, 3x3 matrix of like where bread is positioned and what it makes.
Based on the meal, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. I'd watch that. Or I described to that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
OPR. Great game. You
Great
should
game.
play it.
Highly recommend. Played 2 campaigns. Can't say anything bad about it.
I think this next campaign, are we going to increase the number of matches? I think we probably
Yeah,
should.
we're gonna be doing something for sure.
We're discussing that tonight as a friend group,
Yeah,
and then hopping on Deep Red Galactic.
probably. Hopefully,
So we're
Maybe.
down to do that actually.
Yeah.
Like, I might suggest that. Anyway,
it's a good idea. 1-page rules combines with 3D printing. Fun hobbies. It's great.
true, very true.
Coming to the conclusion of our show, we will end it off with the special
Card of the day,
card of the day,
card of the week, card of the week.
card of the week segment. Couldn't think of the
There you
word. Yeah, card of the week segment. I was thinking today about lands because one of our other buddies, Caleb, played a weird land that nobody had ever heard of
Yeah.
in a commander game, which was funny. That's not the card I picked today, but it got me thinking about weird old lands. And then I also saw a YouTube skit this week from MTG Remy.
Mhm.
He's one of my favorite Magic skit guys. He does hilarious music videos and then also just comedy skits. And he did a skit about Caracas, which is banned in Commander. It's I believe it's from a cycle of the first legendary lands, and Caracas is banned because it's just taps for a white mana if you want. It's just a plains.
Sure.
And you can also tap it to bounce any legendary permanent back to its owner's hand.
Yucky.
So like that's not for Commander. No, you're not allowed to play that
Yeah.
because there's no downside. And it got me thinking. I'm like, wait, that's from the Legends set, which was the first set that had like a ton of legendary creatures.
Yeah.
Which was out there. It's Legends was the first time the Elder Dragons showed up.
Oh, so that was the inception of Commander then.
Yeah, it was because they were all big 7-power creatures.
Yeah.
Nicol Bolas, Arcades. I don't remember the other ones. So Legend set was pretty cool. But then the first legendary lands, Caracas is the most busted one. I got me thinking, I'm like, what are the other ones that you never heard of?
Yeah.
So I picked one of them, the one that had the coolest art. But they are abysmal. They're
not good.
They're not good. They don't even think about playing them ever in any format. They technically don't have a downside. They all tap for one color.
Sure.
So it's a legendary land. This one is Hammerheim.
Okay.
It kind of looks like a cool dwarf fortress built out of a mountain.
Cool.
So it taps for 1 red mana.
Cool.
Or you can tap it to remove all land walking ability from target creature till end of turn. If somebody's commander has island walk, you can just get rid of it for the turn. Yeah.
I mean, I guess like that's not that. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'll show you the art. Hammerheim looks pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Legendary land.
Tap, remove all land walking abilities from target creature until end of this turn.
This set, I don't know if it introduced land walking, but it had a decent amount of land walking. So, like, if you were playing Draft back in 1995, I'm sure Hammerheim was really good. But I wanted to pull up as well the price on this one because, it would not be worth playing ever. It's from a 25-year-old card set, so it's going to be expensive.
30-year, bud.
Oh my goodness. Did I?
1995 to 2024 is 29 years.
Yeah, you're right. Hammerheim is actually only $10.
That's probably just because
just scarcity.
Old.
Yeah. So the other ones again are equally bad, but that's the one I want to throw up on screen. The green one gives target creature +1/+1 until end of turn. The blue one removes banding from target creature until end of turn.
I don't even know what banding is.
Nobody does.
Oh.
That's actually the secret.
That's fair.
Yeah, and then the white one just returns target legendary permanent to its owner's hand. So,
Yeah, it'd be rough.
But yeah, Hammerheim, that's my card of the week.
Although it probably should be unbanned because I feel like there's other cards that are.
It's just because it's in the land slot.
Yeah, that's fair.
That it's like, and there's no downside because they don't enter tapped or anything. But technically, because it's banned, it's actually only $40-something for that one.
Oh.
For an almost 30-year-old card.
Yeah, interesting.
It was reprinted a couple times before it got banned in Commander. So.
Well, Commander wasn't even a format then.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Even the Commander ban list is technically unofficial because Wizards of the Coast doesn't own Commander. Or do they?
It's interesting that they don't own the... Interesting.
It's technically a third party, the Commander Advisory Group, the CAC, that owns the ban list. They own the format. I think they have one Wizards of the Coast employee, I think, on the advisory group now, but yeah.
Did they get paid?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think they're professional nerds who don't get paid.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's your card for the week.
Hammerheim. It was dwarf-themed episode. No.
Kind of. Maybe a tad bit.
For the second half.
Yeah. They got us there in the second half.
Till next time.
There it is.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the 5G Podcast.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.